All right, so it looks like y'all boy Josh Primo is trying to make it back to the NBA, okay? It's y'all's boy, not my boy. As you know, on this channel, I never praised him. I never compared him to Kobe. That was another person on this channel. That was not me.
I want some rest. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so let's talk about Joshua Primo. So first and foremost, I know a lot of people are going to ask, what's the point? Like, why even talk about him? Why are you doing this clan? We could talk about other things. And I'm just going to say this. The reason why I'm talking about Primo is because I want to. But also, when it comes to Spurs players, while we might not want to admit this, Josh Primo is part of Spurs history. He just is. Not the good side of history, but he's part of history nonetheless. We've had many guys come through San Antonio and leave in very strange, terrible ways. Kawhi Leonard being one. DeJounte Murray, it was a smooth transition until after the fact, and then he started talking trash. He's part of Spurs history. And Josh Primo, he's part of Spurs history. I like to keep up with these players and see where they're going, just so we can archive everything. And once we get to whatever destination we're getting to, we can go back and look back, and I'm like, hey, I can say with pride, I followed it. I followed this Spurs player, and I saw where it ended. And it's the same thing with other players in positive ways as well, like Derek White. I talk about him here and there, but you guys know I love Derek White. He was my favorite player since Manu, on the Spurs, not overall, but on the Spurs, he was my favorite Spurs since Manu. So yeah, I like to keep up with these players nonetheless, and Josh Primo is one of them. So we're going to look at this clip in which he's definitely trying to make it back to the NBA. He actually looks more in NBA shape in this footage. This is from July 3rd, but there's something else that made rounds around Twitter that I wanted to discuss. But before we do, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com. I appreciate all the love, or become a patron or YouTube member, only $2 per month. I only have one order that I need to finish. So yeah, it's literally first come, first serve at this point. So if you guys want to support, please do. Link in the description, and you will be next in line for me to work on your order. But all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Josh Primo, what you got? What you got? Oh, sorry. Here we go. You can definitely tell he looks more in the shape he was when he was in the NBA. He just muscled through it right there. But yeah, so that's basically it when it comes to this. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on whether or not I think he should be back in the NBA and everything, and my thoughts just surrounding the whole crazy situation. But this is what actually made rounds around Twitter. So this is from Davian Mitchell. And yeah, you see Primo here, and it's one thing in particular that kind of stands out to me, which makes me believe he definitely is trying to make it back to the NBA. Oh, I just realized you guys didn't hear any sound on that. Sorry. Now you can hear sound. He almost blocked that. That was Primo, by the way. So one thing that you'll notice is he's playing with NBA players. Okay, you see a Piston there, Kate Cunningham. Is that, hold on, is that a Thompson twin? That's a Thompson twin. He is literally trying to make it back to the NBA. You can tell. And I think we saw Jaden Ivey there as well. He's kind of hard to recognize because he cut his hair, but I think Jaden Ivey's there. Yeah, literally playing with NBA. Was that Looney? Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah. So that's basically it. You get what's going on here. So let me go ahead and give you my thoughts. All right. First and foremost, this conversation, this discourse, it always gets a little toxic. Okay, it just does. Not necessarily on this channel, because I mean, I think we've done a good job, me and the mods on this channel, when we go live and everything, done a good job of purging the channel of like weirdos necessarily. So I make sure that doesn't necessarily happen. But overall, just the overall consensus that I've gotten is either you're on the side of screw him, he's terrible, he's trash, he's an awful human being, or you're on the side of he did nothing wrong, allow him to come back to the NBA. And you know what? I think it's somewhere in the middle there. So for me, so first and foremost, I do think, I mean, I don't just think this, I basically know this at this point. There is like psychological issues that he's going through when it comes to, that whole situation and stuff that he was doing. Do I believe that he did it? Because that's another thing part of the discourse. Yes, I believe he did it. And the reason being is because it's not just the fact that, oh, the therapist said it. I think that's more than enough, but that's not it. It's actually the fact that after he got cut off the Spurs, or the Spurs got rid of him, fired basically, what we got was a random post on Reddit of somebody that was in Las Vegas and brought up things that he was doing before any news came out, and it was exactly what he got in trouble for, right? Exposing himself. It was exactly that, in a situation in the hotel room. And then there was other stuff coming out. And then after that, that's when the main reports came out of, oh yeah, the therapist is very upset and, charges, all they can say, whatever, suing or whatever. So I get all of it. I do believe that it happened. I do believe he has a serious issue. And one reason why I wasn't as charitable at the time, and I'm still not super charitable, is only because his party and his lawyers or whatnot, what they had to say about the whole situation made it sound like, yeah, he definitely did it. Coming out saying something in the lines of, oh, if he did do it, it's because his stuff is big, and literally they said this, by the way, that his stuff is big and his shorts were too short and it accidentally came out. Absolutely insane. Crazy defense. Okay, so right there, that alone made me think, yeah, there's probably some truth to that. Now, but I won't go as far as to say this means that Josh Primo can't go to rehabilitation and become a better person and learn why he's doing it, reasons behind it to fix his behavior, fix his thoughts, his feelings, whatnot. Like, that's obviously always a solution, and I hope that he did. But I will tell you that it still makes me a little uncomfortable without knowing him, right? Like, none of us knows him. None of us know the process that he's gone through. And the only thing that we've known from this situation is what his lawyers have put out, which was terrible. That's all we've heard from his camp. Just god awful. But with that limited information, it just makes me feel a little uneasy with him being put back in a position of power like this would be. Because as you guys know, with the Spurs, I mean, he probably won't have this again, but with the Spurs, they gave him the keys. Like, they were ready to allow him to take the franchise and be the face of the Spurs. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and see some of the deals that the Spurs were making when it came to not only, commercials, but promos with the whole Frost Bank sponsorship or whatnot. Like, it was very obvious that that's what they were doing, and Primo was the face of all of it. So even the way that Popovich had him playing, it seemed like they were going to give him the keys. So with that being said, all that being said, I want him to have a second chance, just like I want anybody to have a second chance. I just don't know how I feel about him having a second chance in the NBA. The NBA isn't like the only job that you can have in the world. It's a phenomenal one, and I mean, I don't really knock his camp and him for pursuing it, but it just seems like one of those positions where it's very easy, if you get big enough, for you to get away with quite a few things. And I don't know. It would be very similar to someone working at a Walmart and they have, the same allegations that Primo has had, and then you assign them right back to that same Walmart. You just, no, not saying you can never be a cashier at all ever again, but I don't know if you should go back directly to that Walmart being the NBA. But I don't know. That's just me. Those are my thoughts. But this whole situation was absolutely insane. And what we're seeing here is he's trying to make it back to the NBA. I don't knock it. You make a lot of money. It is, but with money is also power. And I don't know. I don't know him personally, but I wish him the best. We'll keep up and see what's going on. But it definitely seems like he's trying to maneuver his way back into the NBA, which I guess if any of us was in that position, we would try as well. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts. You tell me what you think. It's just an interesting Spurs history here, right? Spurs history. But I'll give it to you guys later. Till next time, man. Bye.